Yo, what up guys? Wally here. And I was planning on bringing you guys some Call of Duty, but I'm sure that you can tell that this is not Call of Duty. In fact, this is Monday Night Combat. And for those of you who have been my subscribers for a little while, you probably know that this is my favorite shooter at the moment. It's an Xbox Live arcade game, for those of you who do not know, my newer subscribers and stuff. I believe it's also on the PC, or I know it's on the PC. It may be on the PS3, not sure. Fairly certain it's not on the Wii. Anyways, yeah, it's just an Xbox Live arcade game. It's like $15, but honestly, it plays just as well as any AAA shooter out there. In fact, in my opinion, it's my favorite game at the moment. So, you know, in my opinion right now, it's better than Call of Duty. I like it more. I'm not really looking to get into flame war or anything. I just personally enjoy this game more. And I guess I'll give you guys, or, well, I guess I'll explain to you. Sorry, I'm just rambling on. I got so many thoughts going on in my head right now, but, I guess I'll give you the explanation of why I didn't bring you Call of Duty today. I was planning on bringing you guys some Call of Duty gameplay, but to be honest, I got on the game today and I played it, and I generally just was not having a good time playing the game. So I decided, you know, it'd probably be more beneficial for me to play something that I'm truly enjoying at the moment than come on here and actually feign interest in a series that is currently, you know, making me get a little angry. And it's not that I hate Call of Duty. I just have that kind of love-hate relationship with it. You know, some days I love that game and I can't get enough of it, and everything is, you know, fun, and the game's just great. And then some days I can't wait to get off of it. And it's not even always, you know, a reflection of my scores, because, you know, I did all right today. I mean, I didn't really dip below 2KD too often. And, I mean, that's not amazing, but, you know, it's not terrible either. So, you know, it wasn't really just a reaction to how I did in the game. It's just sometimes the game just, I don't know, it just feels too predicated on luck, whereas when I come on a game like this, it's generally just not the case. And, you know, the nice thing about this game is it just has such a steep learning curve. I mean, maybe that's not such a nice thing. I mean, it's tough to get into this game, but it's pretty much based on skill, and that, like, a new player is not going to come onto Monday Night Combat and face you and beat you. You know, they may get one kill on you, but it would be extremely lucky and under very, you know, ridiculous circumstances. Whereas on Call of Duty, you know, that person could kill you 4 or 5 times just based on, you know, sitting in the right corner or whatever. And, you know, I'm not harping on the game. It's just the nature of Call of Duty itself. You die so fast, and it's such a twitch shooter that, you know, freak things can happen, especially when it comes to, you know, connection playing a much more important role when you die that fast in a game like that. But, you know, that's just the nature of the game, and sometimes it's fun, and sometimes, you know, it's just not that enjoyable for me. So, you know, that's just kind of how I do this video thing. I'm sorry if it bothers you guys, but I don't come on here and pretend to love Call of Duty when I don't. And when I'm not enjoying it, I play other stuff. You know, there's no reason to not have fun when you're playing video games, because that's what they're here to do, you know. So when I'm not having fun with Call of Duty, I kind of just go to something else. Don't worry, guys, though, because even if, you know, I'm not having fun playing Call of Duty for a while, I'll just take a break from playing the game and use a lot of the games that I've stored on my hard drive, because I do have, you know, a pretty good amount of games right now. I've got at least over 10. I think more towards 20 or maybe even above that. So, you know, I got plenty of games to bring you guys. It's just today I just didn't really feel like it was right for me to bring you a Call of Duty game. Anyways, I don't think it's going to be too important, because I'm not going to talk too much more about Monday Night Combat. I will say this, though. This is one of the better scores I've gotten in this game. I'm still trying to get better at it. I'm not amazing, but I'm getting better, and I had a lot of fun with this game and in this particular game, and I was really happy with the score. Anyways, so what I'm really going to talk to you guys about today is Dragon Age 2, the demo itself, and kind of my first impressions on it, and I guess second impressions. So yeah, I guess before I even get into any of this, it's kind of important for you to understand that I loved Dragon Age Origins. It was one of my favorite, you know, RPGs the last 5 years, and I know that's really not that much of a feat, because, sorry, excuse me, RPGs have kind of become, you know, a second-tier genre these days. People just don't give them the same, you know, attention that they do shooters and stuff. Unfortunately, there's not as many great RPGs out there as there used to be. I've played a couple that I've really liked over the past couple of years. This one game like Tales of Vesperia, no idea if you guys know it. Probably not. It really wasn't that well known. I think it was like a Japanese game. And, you know, obviously the Fallout series and Mass Effect. But, like, you know, Fallout and Mass Effect, I feel, really aren't true RPGs. Oh, of course, there's Oblivion. How could I forget that game? I'm doing a Let's Play of it. But, you know, I don't feel like Fallout and Mass Effect are really true RPGs. They kind of have that feel of more action-adventure RPG, which is still nice. It's just not the same in-depth sense that you get from Dragon Age. So I guess that'll explain my initial reaction that when I played Dragon Age 2 demo. It really appeared to have more of that feel of Mass Effect 2 in the sense that it was more action-oriented, and it was really streamlined down to the point where the actual RPG elements were kind of ignored. And it was, you know, it was kind of upsetting because Dragon Age had been kind of a standalone title to me in a lot of ways, and I guess for the major reason is just their character development. It seems to be so far beyond anything else that I've been finding in RPGs lately. You know, really, I guess how I describe that is like you get to know all these characters, and all the characters in the game kind of have these archetypes. For example, there might be like the moral crusader person, the person who, you know, generally just wants to do what's best for everyone and really looks out for everyone's best interest and to act, you know, he's very morally guided, I guess. And then, you know, at the same time, there'll be another character who's more pessimistic and thinks that, you know, you can't save the world and you have to be realistic about what you do and, you know, who you help. And you have to look out for yourself first. So these two characters are kind of clash heads, which, you know, isn't generally anything too new from a role-playing series. They do definitely have these kind of archetypes. But what is interesting about this series is they actually kind of give you the background to give the whole reasoning for why the characters act this way. You know, as you talk to the characters, you understand about events that have occurred in their lives and relationships that they've had with other people and significant people to them, and it kind of shapes the way that they act, and you come to understand why it is they act this way. So, you know, I really am invested in this series because I think it is one of the only games that kind of does that. It feels more like a novel than it does like a game. You really get to know these characters and you feel a sense of connection with them that you often don't in other games. So I really want this series to do well. And when I first played the Dragon Age 2 demo, you know, I just didn't get that impression. I was really upset to see that the series seemed to have more of a Mass Effect feel to it, of where you were just kind of going through the motions, hack and slash, and it didn't really have that sense of strategy and, you know, yeah, I guess strategy and kind of contemplating your next move that you need to be successful. That's what Dragon Age was all about. You needed to plan ahead. You needed to understand how to counter certain enemies. You needed to understand what spells that you want to be casting and what positions you want to be putting your characters in. And this just kind of seemed you were just going through the motions, hit a spell here or there, and then just move on. But you know, really, when I kind of took a couple days off of it, and I you know, I didn't even finish the demo, and I was like, I didn't even know if I was going to get the game. But you know, then I decided to you know, give it another shot and take another look at the game because I did love the original series and I didn't want to give up on the series so quickly. You know, so I took another look at the demo and I actually realized that what had been happening and what my initial reaction was more of an aversion to change than really just an objective impression of what I was witnessing. While there has been much change to the game, you know, the art designs change, and some things have changed, you know, in my opinion, not for the betterment of the game. I think the overall change is actually kind of a necessity of the series to move forward and to continue, you know, to progress as a game. And actually, a lot of these changes, what I thought was like, you know, kind of downgrading the whole strategy part of the RPG actually wasn't. What I was witnessing was actually the very beginning of the game, in which you're kind of a more finished, polished off version of the character. So that's why the fights seem to be too easy for me almost, and really not needing any kind of strategy whatsoever. But then you get reverted back to the actual initial starting part of the game, where you do have to level up your character, decide where to put your stats, and all that stuff weighs heavily on what type of character you're going to have and what their role is going to be with the party. So I'm now actually very excited and continue to look forward to, you know, not Mass Effect 2, Dragon Age 2. And it's funny, though. It's just funny that I had such a ridiculous reaction. And I guess the only way I could really explain it to you, because I know that probably most of you aren't that invested in the series as I am, is that it's kind of similar to, like, getting a haircut after you've had the same hairstyle for a really long time. When you first look at your hair, it seems kind of off place and weird and strange, and it doesn't seem to work, and you think it was a mistake. However, if you give it a couple days and you look at your hair again, you understand that, oh, you know, it looks nice and it's actually beneficial to your appearance. And that's kind of the same reaction I had. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this gameplay. I'm definitely going to be bringing you more MNC. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!